without further ado, let's dive into RX. So basically I have a Pro Tools session open. RX is a standalone plugin as well. So there's basically tools inside of RX that are available as audio suite, VST, audio units that you can use inside of a host, whatever you use. And some of those work really well, but for some of the higher quality DSP offline processing, we have RX standalone, and this is basically how it looks. And what you're looking at right here is a spectrogram. And so you all might be normally used to seeing your audio like this, like a standard waveform. We all probably know that. It's basically how long it is and how loud it is. So we really just have amplitude and time, but we don't have frequency. And when you add that third element, you are able to make a picture of your audio. And so you have this little slider bar down here that will blend those two views. And the spectrogram, when it's all the way over here, is basically, we're still looking at how long it lasts, basically from left to right. And from frequency, we have basically bottom to top, 20 hertz to 20K about. And then how bright you see things is how loud they are. And so that it gives us the ability to make the spectrogram, and we can see a picture of our audio. So I will, let's just go and dive into this little sample that I'm working with, and I'll show you just a basic how you might use RX, and then I'll jump into Pro Tools and show you some of the cool other new things that we've developed and some ways that you can go bounce back and forth when you're using audio inside of another host. I'll play this file right now. It's basically a band performing live. You can hear an audience, and then something happens, and we're gonna try to take that out. So I'll just play this. So you can all probably see, and you all probably heard that whistle, and you can see it right here in the spectrogram. It's this little line that goes up right here. So we might want to get rid of that if we're going to do a live show release, and maybe we don't want that whistle in there. So what we would do is there's a couple different ways we can get rid of this. If I walk you around just a little of the layout of RX, here's the spectrogram I was talking about. We have our different zoom tools down here. We've got some different selection tools. And then all the way over here on the side are all the different modules. This is all the different DSP modules that we can use to do different types of processing on the audio, from declipping for distortion, declicking for samples from a record, or even mouth noises. And denoising is another huge thing that people lean on these tools for. We also have deplosive. That's a new thing. And I'm showing you right now, this is RX5 Advanced. This is what we came out with last October, I believe. We've got Spectral Repair, which is what I'm going to show you. Spectral Repair is a really cool, intelligent erase tool that I'll show you how that works. There's Deconstruct, De-Reverb. There's some other really cool matching things that I'll show you, and some other basic tools here. It's also a host, so if I wanted to process audio with a third-party plugin, I could. So that's a little rundown of the layout there. So here's our whistle. So I have all these tools right here. You can see that I have a paintbrush. I've got a little lasso tool. Some people, you might hear the term like Photoshop for audio. Some people, that's kind of what they tossed around for if you have to describe RX to someone who doesn't know what you're talking about. There's also our different selection tools. And so I'm going to take this paintbrush here, and if I hold my mouse, if I hold my click down, I can basically adjust the size of this, and I can come back over here and make different selections. And this is basically how we work in RX. It's about making a good selection on the content that you want to process. So this is also a term that we call spectral filtering, because I have two playheads at the bottom here. One playhead will play the whole file, and the other playhead will play just the selection. So that's basically spectral filtering, and when I go dive deeper into Iris, you can see how that stuff could be used pretty creatively. But we want to get rid of this whistle. So if I just basically take this over the whistle and play it, that sounds like most of the whistle. So there's a lot of different ways I can get rid of it. I'm going to go to Spectral Repair here, and basically what I told you about Spectral Repair, it's an intelligent erase tool, and we have 4 tabs. We have attenuate, replace, pattern, and partials and noise. And for the most part, everyone lives in attenuate and replace. So attenuate, what's going to do is it's going to look at the surrounding material and how loud it is, and it's going to make a decision on your selection and how to blend it in volume-wise to its surrounding content. So it's basically taking it out and putting it into the background. Replace is going to take your surrounding material and actually replace your selection with the surrounding material. So they're 2 different processes, and depending on the content you're working with, one might be better than the other. If we just try attenuate, and I hit process, it does a pretty good job, and you can see that there's still a little evidence of that. We can hit play and see how it sounds. Let's see if it, see how much we got rid of here. So it did a pretty good job. I mean, it's definitely a lot better than it was. And you can see over here in this small little window, this is where we have our unlimited undo window, which is nice because it's non-destructive. I can back up, and you can see, if you make a mistake, you don't have to be worried or scared when you try different processes, because it's always going to, you're always going to have the option to back up. So let's back up. I think I can do better. And there's also a better tool to use. There's this magic wand down here, and it's magical. And what we can do is basically select. It's going to do a good job of making a selection of what it thinks we are trying to select. So the nice little thing is I can just click that, and now if I play that, it's only the whistle, which is nice because we don't want to affect anything else. We just want to get rid of the whistle. And if I hit attenuate again, maybe I can throw the strength up a little bit. In the advanced version, there's a checkbox called multi-resolution that basically takes all the processing it's doing, and it addresses the different types of frequencies that you come in contact with. So let's hit process here, and let's see what it sounds like now. So that's pretty good, but I can still hear it, right? You can still hear the little top up there. So let's back up, and one of the awesome things about the magic wand is I made my selection, but as some of you might know, when you talk, when there's any type of tone, that tone that you hear is made up of multiple harmonics, and there's a fundamental at the bottom, and then it moves up certain gaps in frequencies, even odd harmonics, depending on the type of audio, that makes up the whole sound. And if I click on this again, it's going to look and try to find a similar shape of that whistle, and you can see there's 3 other times that this whistle is recreated with these upper harmonics to make the full sound of the whistle. So now when I hit preview, that's the full thing. So now, attenuate could be good, but I feel like a replaces might be a better tool for this because there's other music around, and I want to replace that whistle with some of the other music that's playing. Even pattern might make sense. Basically what pattern is pattern is the replace tab, but pattern will try to identify a pattern, and it will fill in the selection with that pattern it finds. And so pattern makes a lot of sense for music, right? Because there's some drums going on. If you have an opera singer or anything with vibrato that has like that wave, the pattern processing will detect that. So if I turn on pattern here, and basically you can also, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see that there is a surrounding region length. So you see those little 2 brackets moving. This is basically telling the module of what do you want it to look at outside of your selection. And so I'm fine with boosting that out a little bit. And let's hit process. And you can see sometimes it doesn't work all the time, and it also depends. There's a lot of trial and error in RX because the content's always different. So if I back up, and I can already tell when I use the spectrogram that it didn't do what it was supposed to. So if I just hit process with replace, I feel like I don't see any of that whistle anymore. Now if I hit play. So now that thing is totally gone. And all we really had to do was use this magic wand, find the upper harmonics and select those. And then we used Spectral Repair and replace. And we fixed it all.